All right, it is me, Jen, and I am back with another video. This one is about making a shift when you feel like you're in a big pile of you know what. There is always a diamond in there for you, and it's very difficult to see. I will give you that. I know because I've experienced these in my life more than one occasion, and I really don't think that we get through life without having these feelings. That's part of the ride. We kind of do this through life sometimes. And the big thing that I've learned in my 30 years of journaling is how to smooth the road. So the swings don't feel so big each time, even when the circumstances may look that way and sometimes feel that way. That doesn't mean that I move like this and I experiences those deep contrasts where it's like I'm way up here and I'm way down here and I'm way up here. I've learned to level that out a little bit. If you're noticing, I did get a henna tattoo with some friends this week. We decided to do that, and so that's what you're seeing on my arm. But there's a blessing in that pile of you know what, because it provides contrast. It helps you see, if nothing else, what you do not prefer, what doesn't feel good, what doesn't light you up, what doesn't make you happy. Clear as a bell. Sometimes those situations, that is the gift. It's showing you this isn't how you want to roll. This isn't what you want for your life. And it doesn't make it any less unpleasant. We're not going to pretend that it's a happy go snappy time to go through that. But just don't miss the blessing hidden inside of it, because there's always something hidden inside that's for you. So when you hear on the internet, you hear people saying all the time, everything happens for me, or everything's always working out for me. And that's a very hard thing to hear when you're going through it, right? Sometimes that's just very difficult to hear. It doesn't feel very encouraging. So I'm just here to kind of hold your hand through that and say, I see you. I know what you're feeling. I've been there before. But that's not to say that in those valleys there isn't something for you that is strength. Do we want it that way? No, we don't. We don't want to experience it that way. We'd rather learn it by reading a book or something than living through it. Trust me, I've been through there and I know exactly, that feeling of like, I would like to learn this a different way, but just know that inside of it there is something for you that will come out of it and make you a better person. I know that may not feel like encouragement right now, but just trust the process. You're getting better, you're getting stronger, wiser, you're gaining capacity, and you're learning what you're made of. And you are a lot stronger than you think, and you have way more power than you think you do. So I have decided to make this video and call it the Shish list. If you have especially if it feels like a season, I have a lot of friends who this year just kind of came on strong and delivered a bunch of things to them that just didn't feel good. And so if you have a big list of things, they don't even have to be traumatic. They don't even have to be anything that on the outside would seem like that big of a deal. So for me, I had this list. Work has been really busy. I've found myself complaining. Lack of sleep. Those are some things that I just made a list of all the yucky stuff, right? And at the time I made this list, I was having what felt like zero fun in my life. There was just no fun in my life. And then also I was adjusting to something and it was causing me to be very out of my routine. Really just feeling like, you ever feel like your things are out of place and they're just kind of everywhere, or they're moving from place to place, and I just didn't have a place to call my own in my own home, and I didn't feel settled. So that was my shish list for this season. Every season has a little bit of this. So this is you just making that list. And so then the other side of it, I called it, and I shouldn't have called it this, but I did. I called it Crazy Town. If I just took this list, the complaining and like pity party stuff that I was feeling on the inside, and I put, all right, this was all vanished. This was all better. This isn't even a deal anymore. What would it be like? And I put joyous, encouraging, positive, goal-getter, and romantic. No sleep. Luxurious, dreamy sleep. I put like breakfast in bed. I put all of these things, how that would feel in just perfect world. This is fabulous world. I called it Crazy Town again. It's like in Crazy Town where everything is delightful, this is how it would be. So I just wrote that over there. So I wrote one column was my list. The other one was Crazy Town. You can call it something better that resonates better. I don't want to think about that right now because I'll get off on a tangent. But then I wrote about work being very difficult. For those of you in accounting, I give it to you in the tax world. This is my first tax season as a bookkeeper, and wow. So love on your accountants. I've taken mine for granted over the years. I am celebrated, successful author and YouTuber that gets all my adventures paid for. That would be my Crazy Town. That's like my dream. And really, it isn't that crazy. That's the thing. So there were times in my life when I felt like whatever my dreams were out of this world. I remember dreaming about building a house, and that felt so far away from me. It felt so far away because of many, many things, and yet it still happened. Don't even ask me how we got there and how we did that. It happened though. And you have to allow yourself to go to Crazy Town. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I'm not meaning for that word to be triggering either, but like just in some kind of, what I mean by that is something that seems so out of reach, like a stretch, like a dream, like a vision, like a, whatever you want to call that, where it just seems like this is out of anything I've experienced, which is everything new that you'll ever do. If you're embarking on a vision, if you're embarking on something meaningful, fulfilling in your life that you've never done before, you've never done it. So you aren't going to know exactly how it's going to feel or how it's going to look or how to get there. That's just part of the beast. So on the zero fun Shish list, which is one column on your page, and then on the opposite end of the page, you want to have, so I put zero fun, and then on Crazy Town, I put having a blast with friends, being active, and having great, I don't even know what that said. And then moving my stuff all around. On the other side was the most awesome wardrobe situation ever, minimal work, and a mobile beauty station. So in between those two, I put the road with an arrow. This is where you can sit there and you can look at your shoe list and you can look at your Crazy Town list and go, okay, what is the mood, the feeling that I'm going toward? And then how could I create that mood? So most of the time, the mood is not that difficult to create. You want to be in that mood first because that's really what you believe the thing is going to give you. So your Crazy Town dream, you think it's going to give you that. Well, if you get in the mood for that, where you're creating that mood for yourself, you can do that through meditation. You can do that through taking action toward it. Just writing down one step in that direction can at least shift your focus away from your shiz list into a better place. And then you just start leaning into it more and more. You can revisit it day by day depending on what the thing is. Like, these weren't massive. These weren't things that felt unbearable. I've been in those things, and I've done very similar things to get me through those moments. And sometimes just getting, even if you're visualizing or thinking about, reading about, watching videos about people who have overcome this, find some success stories to inspire you, land on a scripture or a quote that anchors you, watch a motivational video every single day that reminds you of this. Take a step forward. Identify that on the road list, which is in the middle of your shiz list and your crazy town list. Just one step forward. You don't have to have it all figured out and all mapped out. I feel like there was an era of time where, and I'm actually really good at this, strategic planning was a big deal. I've read so many books on strategic planning because I've had jobs that have required me to do that, and I'm very good at it. I will say that it operates in a very masculine way and can wear you down. So you need to balance that out with a little bit of just, that's why I say to get in the mood, because you know when you're going to create, let's say you're going to decorate a room or you're going to create an outfit to go to a party, you first want to figure out how you want to feel. Do you want this part, like if you were creating a wedding, people are like, well, what's the vibe of the wedding? Is it a beachy coastal vibe? Is it a elegant ballroom type of vibe? What's the vibe of the wedding? And that kind of determines the rest of it. Same for vacations. Same for when you're creating businesses, when you're creating anything. You first want to get in touch with, how will this make me feel? And start feeling that way. Ask yourself, what does this feel like? Get into some colors and some scents and sounds that are associated with that. Get yourself in that mood first. Then take a step forward. Instead of mapping out the whole thing, figuring out the whole plan, doing that, allow it to be easier. Allow it to be softer, to flow more. Then you won't get so overwhelmed. You won't get so burnt out. As someone who has totally been burnt out in her life, I mean, crash and burnt out. Like, I have done that to myself more times than I can count. But it's from this excessive planning, excessively being rigid about it, and having zero flow. This is why I absolutely love the yin yang symbol, because it's that marriage of the two where you're able to be in flow and allow things and also take action. And it's just kind of that allowing. That's kind of like this list, right? Because you have this shiz list of things that you don't prefer, that you're navigating, and then you have the way that you want it to be. So you're kind of working that balancing line in between the two, and that's what your action is. That's what your mood you're creating, to sort of allow you to flow through, so that those up and downs aren't so sharp, and you learn to navigate them quickly. But you first have to know what you like and what you prefer. So if you're landing in complaining land and you just have the shiz list and you don't create a space for you to dream about it being good, you're just going to stay there. And who wants to stay there? Nobody wants to stay there. And in order for you to move to another place, you have to point yourself in that direction. And in order to point yourself in a direction, you have to know where the heck you're going. So that's why I say, go ahead and create this list of like, ick. I don't like this. This is driving me nuts. This is making me angry. Allow yourself to feel all of those feelings. But then on the other side, go, okay, if this were just the best situation in the whole wide world, what would it be? Doesn't mean you're going to do it. Doesn't mean you're going to change a doggone thing other than your internal mood, and then taking a step forward in that direction. And you will watch things unfold like that because you've shifted your focus. It's just like when you're Driving down the road, if I look over to my right, my car is going to go over to my right. That's why they tell you to just look straight ahead and stay in your lane, because once you look over there, then your car moves. Same with you. Wherever you're looking is where you're headed. So if you want to stay in your baloney, then just keep looking at it. But this helps you kind of shift gears. And also it stays and grows. It magnifies. Have you ever, like when people say things come in threes, or they'll be like, everything just keeps happening. I don't know why this keeps happening. Well, what you're talking about, what you're meditating on, what you're thinking about, that's what you're being about. That's what you're bringing about. That's what you're seeing. Your eyes are like trained to see all of that, and you miss it. I'm actually reading a couple of different books. There's one on habits. I will refer to these in the next video because there's such good stuff in there. But it talks about how our eyes literally only see about 3% of what is available to see at any given time. And the creature with the most ability to see the most things is a bumblebee. So that's why it's very important to train your focus and to get your eyes on what you want to see, because then you'll start seeing it everywhere. You could also give whatever your crap list is a funny name, just to lighten it a little. Just give it a name. Draw a picture of it. Like, make it a little character. Draw a picture of it and give it a name. Be like, this is Mr. Doo-Wop, or whatever you want to say. And Mr. Doo-Wop, we're not here for it today. Like, you can just do that just to lighten it. And, you know, or I'm going to the goober factory or something like that. And just lighten it just a little bit. Because we're trying to move away from being bogged down and so heavy laden. Oh, what's on the other end? Also, if you've ever watched Samurai Matcha, he has a video called Pre-Celebration, which is a Japanese way of kind of doing vision. You're gonna celebrate the whole thing before it even happens. And he gives this example of a group of people who are trying to save a business that they worked for. And they went and had a party and they interviewed each other about how they saved the business, and they actually ended up doing it, even though they were pretending. Kids know how to pretend, and we forget as adults how to pretend. And that is literally everything that's ever created starts in here. No one just accidentally made a car or invented a light bulb. That didn't accidentally happen. They were thinking about it first. So mind your mind. Be diligent. Do your journaling. I am such a proponent of journaling. Stay off that phone. Give yourself 5 minutes to yourself just to write your thoughts down and make your shiz list, make your crazy town list, and make your road in between. And that road, again, is you're writing the mood, and then one thing that could help you move in that direction can be the teeniest, tiniest step, but it's going to feel like better momentum than just sitting in your shiz list forever. If you have a lot of negative momentum on something, sometimes it crashes and burns. Abraham Hicks talks about this a lot, where sometimes you've just got that ball rolling pretty big and pretty hard, and it is probably just going to crash. But the thing is, you'll learn. You'll learn something about yourself. You'll learn something about what you prefer. You'll learn something about how to navigate better. Stick with it. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. It may not feel like it, but you've got to remind yourself that you have agency and power, more power than you've ever known, to make a change. Start being your own best friend. And I did write rock bottom sucks, but you can only go up from there. And we all have heard that before, and it doesn't always make you feel better, but really, sometimes when the ball's rolling that dang hard and it crashes and burns and you're at the very bottom, I know someone in that situation, really, they've got not one thing to lose at this point. So It's only up from here. And sometimes just starting from scratch is okay, because you get to create what you want and you're not stuck with what you had. So keep that in mind if that's where you're feeling you are. You can do hard, scary things. You've done them before. And remembering the list from the last video that I created. So if you didn't watch that, the one prior to this. Another thing that you can do is write a shift list that goes like this. You want to write things that you want to release that are just not part of what you're into right now and where you're headed based on your crazy town list. People that aren't a good match, that maybe that could be people you follow. That could be like news that you watch. That could be voices in your ear, wherever they're coming from. Could be books that you're reading. Could be anything. Could be newsletters you're subscribed to, or whatever that's feeding your mind. Places that you go that you're like, every time I go here, I'm unhappy. Replace them. And habits and activities. So you've got 4 columns. These bother me. And then I took it a step further, and next to each of those, you don't have to spend hours doing this. This is the 5 minutes. 3 things you don't want anymore that drive you nuts. People that aren't good for you. Places you don't like to be at. And habits and activities that you really don't want to participate in anymore. Then write like how often you are at these places or around these people. 1 being every day, 2 being like weekly, 3 being monthly. And then just kind of work on the ones that seem right to you. And then write, what do you not like about them? So I would just write 1 word, like, these take up too much mental space, they're disrespectful, they're energy sucking. These were words I was choosing. Low vibe, waste of time, low quality. Whatever description you have, what traits of these do you not prefer? What can I change? This is where you crowd out the weeds. On the things, you've already spent the money. That money's gone. So you getting rid of the thing now is just freeing up your energy to do something else and to use on something more splendid in your life than this energy sucking thing. The money is already spent, so you can let go. Intentionally connect with people that you do like or that are on the same train as you. So like if you are trying to get fit, be around people who are fit. If that means listening to YouTube videos of people that are fit, if that means like going to a CrossFit class, if it means going to the gym, going to restaurants that serve healthy food instead of going through the fast food. Watch people that are fit. You can just go to a public place like a park or whatever and go around and see that. Follow groups that are fitness related, and you'll start to see yourself shift into that. Also, schedule time to visit the places that do resonate with you. Replace these. You're not just getting rid of places that you don't want to go. You want to go, okay, what would be a good replacement for this so I don't default back to the normal. And then on another page, on the opposite page, write what feels good, what makes you feel good, what people make you feel good, what things in your home make you feel good, what places that you go to that every time you're like, I'm so glad I went. Mine's the library. Habits that you love that make you feel good, activities, what do you like about those? What qualities? This is giving you insight into who you are, what lights you up, what turns you on, what makes you happy and joyful, and then you have this list forever. Didn't cost you a thing, but 5 minutes. You've spent 5 minutes scrolling on Instagram looking at reels. I know I have. It's 5 minutes to invest going, what is it that I can do to make myself feel good, and then get addicted to feeling good. Once you start doing that and you start honoring that part of you that wants to feel good and making decisions that are in alignment with that, and you start to see this list, once you see it written down, you'll be like, oh my gosh, wow. So for some people, they may really like excitement and adventure. For other people, respect might be a really big deal for them, or high quality, or fulfillment. Some people may really like order and neatness and tidiness. And that may change over time as well, but knowing the season that you're in right now, what speaks to you, what doesn't? People, places, things, activities. Make the crappy list, make the crazy town list, and make your list of the mood that is more embodying of the list that you want to feel. Start creating that mood. What would make me feel that way? What does it sound like, taste like, smell like, feel like? And start leaning in that direction. And what's one thing I can do to move in that direction? What's one thing I can do? Doesn't have to be monumental, doesn't have to rock your world, but it can just start the ball rolling the other way, and that will build, and things will start collecting, and that will get bigger than the pile that you're currently sitting in. I hope this video helped you today. Please give yourself the gift of that 5 minutes. Give yourself the gift of that 5 minutes. Make your list, get addicted to feeling good, and let me know in the comments below, what qualities are you finding out that mean the most to you in this season? Bye for now.